Hi, welcome readers. Sarah Kerner here of Kerner's Book Cravers with some of my favorite PaperPie titles. All books can be purchased at c10168.paperpie.com or the link below. PaperPie has publishers Usborne Books and Kane Miller titles, and today I'm here to show you some of the different books. So the first one that I have is our touchy-feely That's Not My series. So for each of these books, it has a texture on each part of the animal, and you have to help with the little mouse finding their pet. So it's great to get that texture in there, as well as introducing some basic words to the littles. It's very sturdy, so little hands cannot rip these apart. So we have a bunch of different titles. You can pick your favorite animal that you have. So this is just a couple of the titles that we have there. The next book in our little series that I want to go over is Good Night Chameleon. So this book is also very sturdy with the lift the flaps because it is felt. So this does a lot for the different kiddos because it has a different texture, as well as they can do color recognition of it's a green frog, as well as learning the different animal noises. So this is a great story together to read. Who's hiding behind the treetop? Squawk! It's the red parrot. And again, these are felt, very hard to tear apart. My kids were not easy on books, so these have been tested. So this one is Poppy and Sam's Favorite Fairy Tales. This one has an abridged telling of 6 favorite fairy tales. Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, 3 Little Pigs, Rumpelstiltskin, and Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. And on each of these pages it has a bit of a different graphic, and we have our 2 little kiddos that are having the books being read to them, so you have a different point of view. The next one I have is our Adventure Mouse series. So this is our Adventure Mouse series, which follows a small mouse called Pedro as he joins a rescue team. So this little team of mice here, they have a helicopter, they have a submarine, and they go on different adventures saving different creatures, different objects, and basically learning about different different missions. So the next one I have is our School of Monsters. So this is the perfect series for beginner readers because you start by the kiddo starts reading the last line on every page, and you work your way up to the whole story. So for example, on the back here, some monsters are short and others are tall, but Frank is quite clearly the tallest of all. So basically the kiddos would read the words in bold until they build up the confidence to read the whole book by themselves. And until then, you can read the other parts with them. And this not only has introductory phonics and different words, but it also has some different graphics as well of how to draw the different characters, how to do different illustrations, talks about the authors, and it also has this blurb in the back of the book for parents to use. So you learn how to make Book of Monsters work best for you. So here are the different words that they would learn in this book. The greens are the start here, then you move on to the oranges, and then the reds. So this definitely helps kind of break down the reading so it doesn't become overwhelming for kids. Next one I have is the My First Reading Library series. So this is 50 books to guide your child through the first stages of reading. And it comes in this very nice box that it can be stored in. But then in these books, it starts from it starts from beginner to intermediate and then to full reader. So an example here is Bad Jack Fox, and in these books, it has a section for you as the parent to read with the kiddo, and then the kiddos, then the kiddos will read the bottom. So it actually progresses as they get further in the series to more difficult words until they're reading it on their own. So Dan is not quick as Jack, but then you're still reading the first parts. And then again at the back of every book, it talks about what you as a parent, the guidance notes. So it's there, what phonics they're learning, letter combinations, as well as some questions and what to do, and as well as... Alright, the next series we have is our phonic readers, which this one is Ape's Great Escape. I also have Kangaroo at the Zoo for you, and Spider in a Glider. So each of these books can be bought independently, and they're the next stage after the My First Reading Library about different phonic combinations and different coding that they can do with fun illustrations, as well as exposure to different word combinations. And then it's silly, which is always fun. So the wind starts to huff and puff, thunder boom, with a crack and a spark, a bright lightning strike looms. So this is definitely a great read aloud series, or they can read independently. And on the back of each book, there is a QR code that you can scan, and that is actually a read aloud story version as well. Is Wheels, all about transport. If you have a car, bus, truck kiddo, this is the book for them, because it has different pictures of different trucks, different vehicles on every page, as well as short blurbs about each. So some of them have actual facts, other pages have information, but then it also is kind of like poetry that it's written. So it has different on each page, and it goes through all the different vehicles. Top 10 trunks, ready, set, jump, truck. So this one has been read many a time in my house. Our Shine a Light series, again, we have quite a few in this series. And the Shine a Light series, what it is that you have a phone, a flashlight, you can actually shine it through the back of each page, and it reveals a secret part of the story. So on our Shine a Light dinosaur here, there are each page. So it says, one group of reptiles, can you guess what it is? Then you would take your flashlight and shine it through the page. So you would take your flashlight and shine it through the page, and you would see these dinosaurs getting exposed. So basically, it has the different dinosaurs that are hiding in the background. So here in the leaf, it would show something when you flashlight. Unfortunately, it doesn't pull on camera. Otherwise, I would be showing you how it looks. But it's very cool. It's like you see the skeletons of each of them. So that's great for the dino lover, as well as we have on the construction site, which is very similar. We have the diggers again, and you can see the background of each. I like these as nighttime stories. They work great in the dark. You can get a flashlight, cuddle into bed, and start winding down for the evening. I would like to go over our Lift the Flap series. So this is something I hear very often, is that my kiddo will rip apart books. So for our littlest readers, we have Baby's Very First Slide and See. So this one is fully contained, and they can touch all they want and it will not rip apart. If for some reason these books do get destroyed, we do have a 50% off lifetime replacement policy. So we will replace up to 50% off of a book if something happens. So that's always great to know too. So we have different books in that series. And then the next one is the Lift and Look, Under the Sea. So I'm kind of showing you from littlest to little bit by little bit it gets more advanced. And then this one does have flaps that lift. So for those little kiddos, tactile learning is great. If I can get them. Ah! Then we move on into our Usborne Peek Inside the Seashore. So this is our Peek Inside series. And for these books, we have littler flaps and a little bit more information. So these books definitely grow with the kiddos. As the kiddo gets more advanced, so do the books. So this is the part that I will move on to for the older kiddos. I always hear, oh, my kid can read on their own now, so I don't need to buy books anymore. And to that I counter and say that we have our books for older kids as well. So we have our Look Inside series. So we have lots of different topics, but this one is about volcanoes and earthquakes. It has different information and facts that are in bite-sized chunks and make learning very accessible. So anything they have an interest about, we pretty much have a Lift the Flap book for it. And it has all the different flaps that they know from their past reading, but with more detailed information to learn. So again, this is our volcanoes and earthquakes. And then the last in our series for Lift the Flap is the Sea Inside. So these are for the older readers. This one is a part of the STEM series that we have. Okay, so it has, this one is much more detailed for the older reader. I'm learning facts all the time as well when we read together. So it has Lift the Flap still, and it just goes more and more in detail. We have our 100 Things to Know series. These books are for the kiddos that love those fun facts. So if you have a kiddo that is like, hey mom, guess what? Did you know what I learned today? And it's about the most obscure animal fact you could ever know. This is the series for them. So it has 100 pages, and each of the different pages has different information. And it's completely like, this page is completely just about that one topic, and then it moves on to a new topic. So they will have constant learning, new information, and it's in bite-sized chunks, which makes it very easy to understand. Now this is our understanding series. So this is for the older kiddos. This one we have physics, money, and understanding mathematics. So we have different ones in these series, and they are for our more advanced readers. Where's my money? Almost no deposit their money in the bank. So it basically goes into different details as well about those topics. Then we have the Managing Your Money. This actually goes all the way to how to earn money, how to handle financial aid for school, insurance, taxes, how to understand overtime. So this definitely is good for those kiddos going out to the workforce for the first time, so that they can learn about money as well. And then the last few books that I have is our life-size series. So this features different pictures of animals in their life-size form. So this here is a picture of a lion, and you can actually see this is the life-size illustration of what a lion's tongue looks like. So it's definitely great for using your hand to compare with your kiddo, and just different facts about animals as well. This one is our deadly animals, but we also have book coming out, Ocean Animals. So I'm very excited about those as well. So that book is on our list to get as soon as it comes out, which I believe it is out now. So this is our Nibbles. He is our book monster. He is a little yellow monster who constantly gets in trouble, and his favorite thing to eat is books. So basically there are a few titles of this series, and it starts off with our little book monster getting out of his box. So he escapes, and he's hungry, and he's on the lookout for more books. So you follow along and try to find where the little book monster has gotten off to. And then it goes inside different books, and you follow him through different chapters and different books. And eventually, at the end of each book, after you explore some different books, different titles, different colors, you follow him, and then you capture him and put him back into his box. But he always seems to escape. Gone nibbling. So that is Nibbles. He is one of our favorites. Very much for staying with me for this whole video. If you have any questions, please comment below, send me a message. I will reach out to you. I want to make sure that each kiddo can find the right book for them. That's always been one of my favorite things about selling these books, is matching up the right book for each kiddo. So I want to help do that. There's also the links below for my page to purchase, as well as my Facebook page and my contact information. So click any of the buttons below to find me, and I will help you out. So thank you very much.